Hello, everybody. Let me make sure that I have sound so you can hear me. And I'm also going to, I don't see a link for a share to my group. I will share afterwards. I'm sorry about that, folks. If you were hoping to watch in my private group, Beauty Within DK on Facebook. Give me just a moment to see this. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. It's hard to check when you're on the wrong page. As you're hopping on, I would love to hear where you are watching from. So please comment below in the comments under the live. Okay, I can see me. Let me make sure I can hear me. Hello, hello. Check, check. Anything?
Please comment.
Okay, awesome. And I can see your comments over here on my other device. Hello. All right, everybody. Thanks for bearing with me. Let's get started. So welcome to Beauty Within DK. I am the DK, Deb Krajacek. And this is part 3 in a 4-part series about meeting your higher self. So today we'll talk about a little more around gender and disconnection from your higher self, fears that you may have around spiritual energy and how to overcome those fears, the difference between connecting, receiving, and tuning, and why you need to tune to your higher self, and how you get to know your higher self's name. Super excited for today. So this video series is designed to help you get ready for the Broadest Truth Programme, which I'll be running in May. Enrollment is open. Don't miss out. I know some of you missed out on April, which is going on right now, and you don't want to miss May. So this series, this higher self series, is needed to be ready for the Broadest Truth Program, and the Broadest Truth Program is needed to be ready for the Evolve You online program coming up in July. There's so much exciting stuff coming up, you guys. I can't wait to share it all with you. I'm trying not to share it all at once and overwhelm you, though. Okay, so also at the end of the live, I will share with you some more about upcoming programs, ways to work with me, and you can find links for all of the programs in the post above, or you can comment below if you're having trouble finding that. And there's also a link to the free 5th Dimension Earth Higher Self program, which all of these lives are based on in this series. And I will be taking your questions also, so please post those below as we go along. If you're watching on replay, post as well. I will check back later. All right, so as you're joining, let me know where you're tuning in from. Say hi. If you feel that you know somebody who would benefit from this information, please share the page. Please invite your friends to join my private community group. You join my private community group too. And obviously drop your questions below. If you don't feel comfortable dropping them below, please feel free to direct message me if it is something you're uncomfortable with dropping in the comments. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm Deb Krajacek. I am a Believe accredited practitioner, a 5th Dimension Earth certified healer, an Evolve Changemaker divine. I'm your leading edge physical guide and healer. I'm here to help and support you as you are ready to awaken, ready to heal, ready to feel good, ready to live, ready to evolve, ready for divine, true, beautiful magnificence. So what I share with you today may be different to what you currently understand, but please just allow yourself to flow with this, feel the truth of it, and let it settle. So let's talk a little bit about higher self gender. And some of you out there just might not align to gender. Remember that you are perfect. You are unique and you are an individual living your life. That is what's important. So your higher self will always, always love and understand you no matter what. And your higher self is always, always going to admire you and understand your journey. Your higher self is, sorry, hold on. I can't help you right now, I'm sorry. I can help you in about 30 minutes, okay? They're in the garage. Sorry, everybody. It is currently spring break. The kids are off school, and apparently it was something important to him, which was not important to me right now, and that's okay. But life happens, right? And it's all about living. Where were we? Your higher self absolutely loves you and admires you and understands your journey. Period. End of story. Everything's okay. So remember, your higher self helped you with your soul contract. You and God and your higher self, once you were created, also created a soul contract. And I've mentioned that I did a soul contract video series. It is in my private group. And I believe that was last year when I did that. But it is in there if you want more information around soul contracts. But your higher self helped you write this, all of this into your soul contract. So remember, your higher self will always align to gender, either female or male. And you can ask them. You can ask them anything. You can ask them what gender they align to. And your higher self will also always align to your soul contract. So there's a lot of different moving parts here, so to speak, but you can always ask and then start to feel what information and insight flows to you with the questions that you ask to piece it all together. So your soul contract could have been written to misalign you to a gender or to realign you to a gender if you so choose. So your soul contract allows you to be who you are, just as you are, but your higher self is always going to bring you the truth. And if you allow it, you'll also feel the truth around your gender. So just allow your higher self to understand, help you understand if you need help to align to the truth of you. And remember, your truth may not be the same as truth for another. So allow your truth to flow through to you, but don't be influenced by others' truths. Allow your truth, understand your truth, and then just be happy with it. Find the love in it. So you may have had a challenging journey so far and a challenging soul contract, but remember, you're always loved, no matter what. God and your higher self, and not a single soul in non-physical judges you. Period. End of story. You may be aligning to the gender of your higher self, even though your physical body does not reflect this. So that is something else to remember, and even more reason why it is important to ask your higher self what gender your higher self aligns to. So just take some time to feel into your higher self's energy and really feel if their energy is male or female. And take time with this. Just sit with it and take time. Okay, so cheers to the first section. All right. Next, let's chat a little bit around disconnection from your higher self and fears you may have around spiritual energy and how to overcome them. So you energetically can never disconnect from your higher self, but consciously you can. You can choose to disregard this relationship, but why would you want to? Also, in private and personal moments, not to worry, your higher self can consciously disconnect, but they can cognitively sense when it's time to reconnect again. So if you are feeling like, ooh, I don't want to connect because sometimes I'm in the bathroom showering or whatever personal things you're doing, or you're having personal thoughts about a subject that is really meaningful to you, or you're having some conflict around, not to worry. Your higher self isn't there to peep and pry, and your higher self understands these private moments and will disconnect and then know just when to reconnect with you again more consciously. So your higher self does not create low vibration in you, and does not energetically drain you, because remember, you have a same vibrational frequency. So there's no need to create any sort of what you might hear people talk about as protection from other energies, because your higher self and you are the same. So your higher self also understands that you might be nervous about consciously connecting, even though you are always energetically connecting. Your higher self understands that this is new for you. And just to put it into some context, you wouldn't necessarily be nervous about going to visit a good friend or a family member that you love very much. And this is very much similar. So think of it that way and be excited about meeting your higher self. And just remember that they're very excited about meeting you and consciously connecting with you in that way. So just let it happen and be really easy and really natural about it. So I know some of you out there may have a fear around spiritual energy, and some of you may feel energy, some of you may see energy, you might hear energy, or just know that there's energy around you. And for some of you, it's more intense than others in this seeing, hearing, feeling, or knowing. Well, just understand and know that your higher self is real, your higher self is true, ethereal, and only love, pure love. Your higher self cannot align to fear the way physical human can align to fear. And trust that there is nothing for you to fear from your higher self's energy or the energy of any other non-physical being. They are all pure love. So you can ask your higher self if it's possible to see them, to hear them, to feel them, and to see what they can do to help enable that with you. It's not always possible to see, hear, feel, or know they're with you until you start practicing and tuning with your higher self. And what will happen then as you tune is that the best way for you to understand that they are with you will start to come through very naturally. All right. Okay, so what is the difference between connecting, receiving, and tuning? And why do you need to tune to your higher self? So connecting is when you set the intention to consciously meet with your higher self energetically, and the two energies, you and your higher self, come together. You allow engagement and communication through whichever channel is chosen, feeling, hearing, seeing, and knowing. Usually it's whichever one is easiest, but once you have mastery over one, you can start opening up to the other channels as well. And receiving is the ability to understand what your higher self is telling you, showing you, or sharing with you. So when you receive, you accept that which they are sending to you, but you must be tuned to properly accept. And this takes practice. It takes time. Those of us that you may see, like me in the fifth dimension earth community, we have all taken the time to tune to our higher selves. So then it becomes easier and easier to receive and allow and understand what our higher selves are sharing with us. So this tuning can occur naturally, or you can use targeted tuning exercises, which we will definitely talk more about next week. But you can also find them in the book Believe by Fifth Dimension Earth and in the free Higher Self program by Fifth Dimension Earth. Both the links are in the post above, or I can help you with them personally if you'd like to practice tuning one-to-one. So when you receive, it can be mistranslated by you or infiltrated by you. Therefore, it's really important to have a high vibration and clear mind when you're trying to receive from your higher self or any other non-physical entity. And the tuning exercises for your connection and receiving with your higher self are perfect to help raise your vibration and clear the channel. Clear your mind so that you are less likely to misinterpret what you're receiving. So, in particular, your pineal gland, which is in the center of your brain, will also help enable you to start translating what you're receiving from your higher self. And this helps you move from receiving a single word towards having a conversation and asking questions like you're sitting with a really, really close friend. You'll want to keep tuning as your relationship with your higher self grows and as you energetically expand. And what you're able to receive will also grow, and you will start to focus on energetic abilities and capabilities. And this is where it gets super duper fun if you're a little bit or a lot of bit woo-woo like I am. So you and your higher self will continue to grow together for all of your time as a physical human, and some of your time, or however much you choose, once you transition back to the ethereal realm. So you also may be wondering if you and your higher self are connected and a similar energetic frequency since you were created. So why would you have to tune to them? You might be wondering that. Well, when you were born, you were not born consciously whole. We don't know of anybody yet who has had a baby born consciously whole just yet. Is it a possibility? Absolutely. Is it a probability? Probably one day it will be, but we're not quite there yet. So you were not born consciously whole. And then there's things that you need to learn in order to translate your higher self. And it doesn't always happen automatically. If you let it try to happen automatically, it can take a really, really long time, decades even. But you have free will, and you must choose to want to receive your higher self and communicate with them. So honestly, your higher self might already be communicating with you, and in a more cognitive sense. So you might not necessarily realize that that it's happening. So cognitively, you don't need any tuning. And this is what a lot of people feel or know as intuition or their gut feeling. It is actually just your higher self communicating with you. So you've already got a head start if you are wanting to consciously connect. Just notice that when it's happening. It's your higher self helping guide you. So, because you're whole in the sense that you are them and they are you, you have the same soul frequency. So your higher self is definitely the easiest of non-physical energy to tune to. And as I've mentioned, I think in previous videos, your higher self is almost like your gateway, your bouncer almost to connect with other non-physical before you're ready to connect directly with other non-physical. So always start with your higher self first when you're trying to consciously connect, and before you start relationships with other non-physical energy. Okay, so how do you get to know your higher self's name? Well, once you start to feel and get to know your higher self, you may just hear, see, know your higher self's name. And the name will feel right. There'll be no questions about it. So I can remember when I was trying to get my higher self's name, I kept getting a name and it felt like such a big energy. And it turned out that I wasn't actually tuning to my higher self in that moment. It was my watcher. So it can be a little tricky to get your higher self's name due to your own resistance or your journey. But remember, you can get it. And if you need help, I can always help you with that. But the tuning exercises, just starting to work on your own with the tuning exercises and your higher self, will definitely help get the ball rolling. So your higher self also won't adapt their name. Sometimes their name will be an unusual spelling, and it may not even be of your own language. And sometimes your higher self will have a longer name, but has a nickname that they prefer to be called by when interacting with you. And that's also interesting because you may pick up on their name, but then very quickly you'll know it's not quite right, and you'll find out what their nickname is, so to speak. So it may take some time to receive their name, but don't worry, because you'll just want to focus on getting to know your higher self better, and their name will come through more quickly. So the name can come through as a letter, a country flag maybe, to kind of steer you in the right direction of what the name sounds like. An image of someone who may have the same name. So if you are really someone who likes puzzles or mystery or something like that, this is a fun game that you can play with your higher self. And doing this will cause you to have a more conscious bonding, and you'll start to feel your higher self always there with you. And at this point, they go from just being an energy to feeling like family or your best friend. So that is really, really exciting. Okay, so I'm going to check and see if there's any questions in the comments. And then I have one more thing I want to share with you. Not seeing any questions, but please, if you're on replay, post below. I will check back. And one question that I do get asked a lot that I want to share with you, though, is how does a higher self get their name, right? So we as physical humans, our physical parents give us a name. How they come up with that is anybody's business, right? They may have a feeling, they may be honoring another relative, what have you. But how does the higher self get their name? Well, this question was asked to me several times, and I really felt into it. And what I received was, it is like an encapsulation of the energy and the feeling of the higher self themselves. And their name forms in that way. And so it's like, here's a real life example that you can use as an analogy around how a higher self gets their name. So when we were naming our children, we were honoring relatives who had transitioned already. And for our names, we pulled a name from my side of the family and a name from my husband's side of the family. So I remember that there were names on my husband's side of the family that didn't have necessarily an exact correlation with what we were looking for, and we sat with that and recognized that there were certain characteristics and traits and feelings around that family relative. And when we sat in that energy, we felt the name come through that we would use with that child. And it was so, so special. So it's almost like that. Your higher self, any higher self, has an energy and a feeling and the traits and the characteristics and the aspects of something, and they just feel into that, and that higher self name comes to fruition. And what's really amazing then is you can consciously tune with your higher self and learn your higher self's name through that energy. Oh, how exciting. Okay, so really quick, as I mentioned at the beginning of today's video, this video series is designed to help you get ready for the Broadest Truth Programme in May, which is needed to be ready for the Evolve You online program in July. The links can be found to the programs in the post above, and a bunch of other links in there too that are very helpful. But if you would like more information than what's in the links, just let me know. Reach out to me if you have questions about the Broadest Truth Program or anything else, the Evolve You program, or working with me one-to-one to get ready for either of the programs, or to work on something completely different. I absolutely range from feeling the call to awaken and not having started yet, all the way through true beautiful magnificence and capabilities and abilities and beyond. Everything. The whole shebang. And a special for the rest of this month, if you would like to meet your higher self in a higher self session with me through the end of the month, I have it priced at a special discounted rate for you. All the links to enroll, again, are in the post above, or DM me. And if you're not sure which next step is right for you, please feel free to book in a free call with me and we can discover what's right for you together. Okay, so thank you all for being here. I will be back again next week with part 4 of the 4-part Meet Your Higher Self series. And thank you. And remember, it is time to transform the next segment on your journey towards your own true, beautiful magnificence. So let's manifest true, beautiful magnificence together. Sending you so much love. Bye for now.